they did was cremated.
Right.
Indians used to bury above ground and stuff like that. And some people would fire bonfire and stuff like that.
I started looking at it like
so
that.
it's just different cultures.
Right.
Because all of us are just a product of where we were brought up. Who are we to say that this is wrong over here, and these people are wrong over here?
Right.
Because in America it teaches you to judge things.
Yes.
It teaches you to judge other countries, other peoples, their values, and everything else. Like we know everything for everybody, and we don't know everything for everybody. You know what I'm saying? We judge. You know, even like ourselves, it's coming from where we come from, descendant-wise. We don't even get along with the people we supposed to get along with from Africa and the other dark peoples of the world, you know.
Right,
and we really all came from the same continent. You know, even though we got divided in the diaspora and the spread out thing and anything like that. But you know, it's I hear exactly what he's saying, man. He makes some incredible points.
And to add on to that, like I was tapped into this is to like because I see like on the algorithm they're trying to push the race thing. You know, it's because it's gonna lead to two different things that they don't already see. It's gonna lead to a civil war, which Africa already been through, like way back. Because Nelson Mandela only went to prison for being an activist.
Right.
He did 28 years in the same room.
That's right.
Like for only doing what I'm like, that's my dream is to be. That's why I'm like. It's a blessing to have this opportunity that y'all give me because
You're talking about one of my guy that I've read so much about when I was incarcerated. I studied Nelson Mandela front and backwards book. He talking about he was over there on Robben's Island.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when he had the little pail he had to use to defecate.
I was trying to tell people like he paced so much that the concrete. You know how like a dog will pace in the earth, and it'd be like he paced it so much that that the concrete went because they never really you could be in the same room 18 months and you really psychologically they had him in the same room for 28 years.
They try to break him.
Yeah, like and that's like I study a lot, but my father like because for me doing music. He was just like, man, you want to. He's like, you're gonna write, be a journalist, and then study writing. So then so I had to start studying journalism while I'm incarcerated, how to write properly, and then he sent me a lot of books of people from the civil rights movement that was incarcerated that got out to do something great. And so he had me study Nelson Mandela, and so like he basically. Like a lot of people haven't read like we have, so they go by TV and stuff. You might not know that he actually was arrested just for like rising the mind of the people, like on some kind of Malcolm X kind of was.
Okay.
Like, but not on the violent tip because like over there, in Africa, they know more of our history. Because blacks are dislike or hate whites, and some whites are hate for not knowing, like you said, for being pregnant. We all have like least 2% to 8% Mediterranean European. And Mediterranean European is the original for Europe. I mean before Pan Am and all that, but like because a lot of like people that we think have melanin in them, and this is not to be like on no race, it's just to be knowing. Like for example, East Indians. I mean Indians, how the vice president, how like she looks like. They have melanin. They'll play that on us, but the hair lacks vibration. But everyone, including us, in history had different names. So you might be reading about the villain and not even know the villain is the brother right here. Like because we had like different names. Like the Arabians was the Persians. Like that was the first that ran up in ancient Kemet. I mean, I know between the Persians, the Latin. I mean, wherever the Latin. That's why most of the language is Latin. It go from Latin to if it has an AL in it, that'll be Persia or that's what algorithm or allegory or and everything else. The English language is Latin and Germanic and Anglo-Saxon and French. So like we might be saying some stuff that be like saying like something differently.
Right.
So go study they the ones that start language, but we all speaking the same language, and everybody is Europeans except the males, and impregnating the women for them to populate. So even if because it takes 8 generations to get a race out of a race. So like
8
it's
generations.
Yeah, 8 generations. So like I could be say I'm black or I'm black and white. I'm black. My mom's white. My father. So like if I go this way back, if I go back into like someone that's considered all the way black or 100% black, I like mix back with them. Then they child go back because you can't say mate. You can say mate or 8 times will make the blood, make the genealogy will but then if you go back this way, if you go back to like a black white, you know what I'm saying, a mix. If I'm mixed and my girlfriend white, and then we have a mixed child, and that mixed child go grow up to fall in love with a full white, and then 8 times it'll be back. Like even right now, 4 generations at my homeboy's house. I just got back up here. The granddaughter Pi, she's dark. She's the brother's complexion. She hasn't even met her grandmother because her grandmother resting in peace. Her grandmother is white, literally, like blonde hair, blue eyes. She 3 generations down, she's dark skin. So why? My point is, it's either 2 to 8%. We have each other in us. So like whether we like it or not, we mix with white, and white is mixed with and every other race. Like so, like that's like not to be racist or nothing, but it would be to be like factual. That's why we like hairy. You know what I mean? Like you feel what I'm saying? Got a lot of you know what I'm saying, hair coming out because where we come from, we wouldn't really need that. Everybody is like the protection of nature all the way on. Like, even to our teeth is sharp and flat, but like. So a person will hate themselves hating the next person, and the next person will hate themselves hating instead of finding the common rudder and not what's inside the body, the inner. And that lets you know what kind of people we're dealing with. People that's in the mirror, not dealing with what's inside of themselves in the dark. You know what I'm saying? So that's like one of my missions is to like bridge the gap on that with facts. Because people can like argue opinions all day, but it's facts, and that's what happened. That's kind of like the story of Babylon. You know, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. We're here, there, and the other. Like you feel what I mean? And that's
the tower. A lot of times, people who have been able to study and understand things. The word Babel.
Yeah, like the language.
Babel. So that's what it is. It's just meaningless.
Yes.
That's what when the people, you remember with the story,
Tell them,
you know, when the people started getting spread out, they couldn't understand each other's words. They were babbling, but they had their own distinct languages. They had to understand their own distinct language because they had supposedly made the tower so high.
Yes.
And then they said that if they keep doing that, they'd be like us. So we had to do something. So that's a myth. That's some mythology type stuff.
I'm trying to say that because I respect some
but the point the only thing that I want to add to this whole conversation when it comes to race, that he's pointing out a profound fact is that when you look at the human being, the DNA of the human being, everybody got everything in them.
Yeah.
Just like he said.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that what people have to realize is what I just gave him that book called As a Man Thinketh. The real equalizer to everything is when humanity evolves to the place where we're all using this the right way, when we're all healed. We're all so damaged up here. Each one of us is damaged. And some of us is a little bit more healed than others. But it's just none of us are really healed because of the trauma. And so Africans have been traumatized. So in America, even though we may be functional, we can do a job, we can whatever. You know, as a pastor, you know how many pastors are traumatized, how many pastors are have a lot of emotional problems and they can't keep their families together and stuff like that. Yeah.
Can I get a white? when you talking, I want to write some stuff down. I don't want to interrupt you. I don't never want to interrupt
You know, but you understand. So
Yeah.
the point I'm trying to make is that until we are all healed, like one thing I like about what he says about himself, he's a healer. These are things that got to be taught people and shown people because, like he said, he was raised up a certain way where you don't even hug nobody. You know, he was in a gang, so you got to be. He had to do a lot of soul work outside of everything because everything was against him. Everything's been against his life. He had to fight, you know, for him to even be here today. It's been a fight. He had to fight for his own survival. And we're not talking about physically. He had to fight to be just sane. He had to fight in here from people trying to break him in here. You understand? He came, you know, then me and you had that little thing going. Then I really realized God showed me what a good person you was. So showed me your heart. You understand? And that's once you realize somebody's heart, you know where they at. And so what I'm saying is that the whole thing we all have to do, the ones of us that become advanced, is we all have to work together to heal. And realize where we all came from. And don't be stepping on each other. Don't be stepping on each other's struggle. Don't be stepping on each other's pain. Don't be stepping on the things that offend each other because we don't know what that person's done been through.
Right.
And why that person's shaped the way they are and why they doing it. What we should be doing is try to listen to that person.
Exactly.
And feel that person so then we can be a blessing to that person. You know, it's just, and that's how things are going to change. All this other stuff is the enemy. I hate you because you look this way. I don't like you because of your color. That's all BS. That's all somebody done. Everybody's mind got messed up. You know, because that's not the natural way, the state of thing. The natural state of thing is what Yeshua tried to bring to the earth. All those great prophets and the ones that really cared about humanity of all different races, they all tried to say the same thing. I mean, y'all off the chain on here, man. Y'all crazy. And this is what y'all need to do to heal yourself. I mean, all the prophets said, try to say, but then when man got it, the dudes are supposed to be followers, the corrupt ones got it. The corrupt ones took it to use it to control everybody, to take stuff from everybody, and to try to make everybody be. It's like a gang. He knows what I'm talking about. The original guys that start something, you know, they started for the good, for the protection. Then as it goes on, as it gets go farther and farther, like he was talking about down the line, then other dudes get more and more corrupt. Because they're not following the original plan. They may say some words for the original plan, but they have their own motives now. It's just like people, I always tell people, Christian, and you know how I am about that. I always tell people, I said, look, man, Christians don't have nothing to do with Jesus. The one they call Jesus anyway. I don't even like to use the word Jesus because I say Yeshua. You know, but I say, when you really study the Bible, I don't care what it's been tampered with and everything else. If your heart is right, your spirit is going to show you how to live. My spirit shows me how to treat him. I don't have to put no label on my name to not misuse him. So when you say you following something and you doing opposite what you following, nobody calls that the task no more. Because what it is that we try to have Christianity today is a social club for a lot of people. You know, but in the same vein, it's the people like you, Pastor Parker, Brother Ed, a lot of people that he hasn't met yet that really make it work. It really make it work for everybody, where everybody can see. You understand? It's the labor. It's not the words. It's what he's doing when he was talking with the kid. It's your labor that makes life work. It's your labor that makes not work. Not all these words I'm talking about. It's how am I treating you? What am I willing to go do to help you? That's what makes life right there. You understand? And that's how all human beings have, the ones that have won the victories in life, they have helped each other. Whether they've been black, whether they've been brown, whether they've been Irish, whether they've been Indo-European, all of what you was talking about, whether they've been Afro. If they made it, they had to help each other. Because if they didn't help each other, guess what happened? They perished. And when